Hello everyone, it's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Bridges of Madison County by Robert James Waller. And this is such an interesting experience because I was walking around MagFest, the music and gaming convention, and they had this little thing where it was a free library. This is from bookthing.org, and it's just like, take whatever you want. And I had finished the books that I already had, and I'm like, want something to read in my downtime, and I've seen the film from Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep, and I'm like, I'm going to grab Bridges of Madison County. And, you know, it is not the kind of book that I usually read. I'm not usually one to pick up a romance and really dig into it, but what I appreciate about the film is there's two very fleshed out characters, and that's very true about this book, as we find this wife out in Iowa who winds up connecting with this photographer who works for National Geographic. We have Robert Kincaid and Francesca Johnson, and these two very fleshed out, differing people who find this appreciation for these beautiful bridges, the rusticness, the beauty of it all. And they develop this connection over time, and we get to see the frustrations of two very different types of people dealing with getting to know somebody new and connecting, but also feeling such a raw connection with each other and slowly seeing how that connection grows into passion, into lust, into romance and love over the course of this book. And Waller does not avoid getting graphic in the way that they show intimacy, and I think it is done in a classy kind of way, in a respectful way, but also in a poignant and emotional and impactful kind of way. You feel it. You feel that sexual tension building between these two characters over the course of this book, which this is an extremely modest book at like 170 pages, very small pages at that, and this is such an easy read. Over the course, the story is simple, but it does take some interesting leaps in terms of like its third act structure as we get to the later part of the book, where there's a time jump and how life has reframed this romance and the challenge of like this housewife who already has a husband she might not be feeling the same connection with, falling for this charismatic and engaging artist who's trying to create these visual representations of these beautiful bridges and what they mean for their romance, what they mean for their connection, and how it all comes back together over time. And this is a story over decades and is an impactful and beautiful romance. It is tender. It's something that resonates very well, and I think Waller does a great job of packing so much into this into this little package. It does have sentimentality. It does get a little sappy at times, and I think it totes that line quite a bit. But I think in general it hits the mark. I think this is a quality read, and I would recommend more for romance fans. I don't know how many convertments and like converters that we can get into the romance genre based off of the Bridges of Madison County, but it does have some really fleshed out, interesting characters, a challenging dynamic between these two characters and circumstances, and the deep understanding of the complexities of love, that there's more to love than just love. And I think this book really captures those things, and sometimes the tragedy of it all, losing that love and maybe never getting it back again. And I think this book deals with all those things in an earnest and impactful way that's worth your time. But those are my thoughts on The Bridges of Madison County. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some books. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.